Ever since I was a foal, my fathers and the centaurs of Sotiri would tell me stories about the stars, that they were magic and made from the gods who made the gods, the elders, beings of great wisdom, ingenuity, and power. They were considered fairy tales, myths, that they didn't exist, or, if they did, they were long, long gone. But I always wanted to hear about them and learn more anyway, even into adulthood. It was a desire that filled my whole being, something I needed, like how the sea needs the moon. I never believed for a second I would see an elder shard, let alone hold one, but I did. Its power filled me with strength and skill, flooding every part of mine and my companions' beings as we killed a god. We killed a god. Pirate Queen, Sea Hag, the mother of krakens, the great unbeheld, Eula Saltsmile. But the power was fleeting, temporary. It was gone as soon as it arrived, and once again I felt empty. But this time, I realized I was empty, that something was missing, that I was lost. Now I know and recognize that I was just foam drifting on the waves. A yearning that I had my whole life that I never knew about returned. And with it, a voice, calling. One whose words I cannot hear, nor am I able to respond to, no matter how hard I try.
Hey! Hi! I don't have time for this. No offense, very busy. Hand me that red flask. The one on the left. Your other left. Oh, it's Winnie, sea scavenger extraordinaire. Shouldn't she be scavenging? Yes, I should. But no, there's things out there. Star things. Powerful things. World-changing things that need to be investigated. There's something... Jeffrey, don't eat that. Something I know I knew. There's so much I don't remember, don't know. I have to relearn it, but how? So, I'm here, experimenting. Trying not to set the ship on fire. I don't even know what I'm looking for, exactly. Can a star be created? Can you get close to making a star? How do you reverse engineer the biggest magical object you've ever come across when you don't even have it anymore? See, I'm really good at the questions, but all I'm finding so far are more of them and no answers. Well, and a potion that makes you, really strong, but that's not what I wanted. Hey, do you... No, Jeffrey, don't eat that!
After so many years under Eula's thumb and having my whole life determined for me, being told what was right and what was wrong, having no one else but her, I'm finally free. Or so I thought. It was never redemption that I yearned for. No, someone like me could never do enough to make up for all the bad I've done in the name of a fake idol. All I've ever wanted was to be desired, and in my search for it, I betrayed the one who made me. I betrayed her for the thing that she feared most, and I tore her and her kingdom down. Now, it's all I can feel. It's hunger, a constant reminder of what lurks just below the surface. Its name occurs across my skin, ever present, ever threatening. I led it here. I fed it power, and it wants more. It craves the power that only the gods wield, and it will destroy me to get it. So, I'll just have to destroy it first.
Everyone lives their lives bound by what they accept as correct and true. That is how they define their reality. But what does it mean to be correct or true? those are merely vague concepts. Their reality may be all a mirage. I was an arbiter of a zealot Triton tribe, the Nalos. I was true to my traditions until I found my reality was a mirage, an illusion to subjugate my people and gain power for an evil demigod. Now I have been touched by darkness and broken by a false oath. Tell me where I should go now. To the left, where nothing is right, or to the right, where nothing is left? I turn to the shadow, for that is the only place for a monster like me. I am the ghost of the Tritons. I am the darkness of the Nalos. I am the unholy warrior of the seas. I am the Shadow Knight, Proximus.
Waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lure you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Horizon's Call. My name is Derek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. I am the GM for this game. I am the guiding compass as these wonderful adventurers explore the homebrew world of Domaris, an oceanic world of my very own making, but of course could not have been made without them. We're going to get into intros, all that kind of stuff, all the businessy stuff. But before all that, I do want to tell you that I appreciate you being here. It's very nice for you to join us. If you do appreciate this cast, this game, anything along those lines, we always appreciate any support that you can provide. We actually particularly enjoy support through Pally. Pally.gg is how we choose to support our cast. So any donations we prefer to go through Pally gets evenly distributed there, as opposed to donating through Twitch, which takes its cut, and that does benefit the channel directly, but we much prefer to support our players first and foremost. And regardless of how you choose to donate, you can actually affect the game in a number of different ways. You can see all those in chat, essentially advantages, crits, even something called a black spot, which introduces a serious complication to the game, such as a were-shark curse, which might have been resolved just in our very last session. So if you do any of that, gifts, subs, Pally, all of it counts, all of it's very much appreciated, and everything is appreciated. Your viewership alone is more than enough, so thank you. Let's see. That, I think, is everything that I need to say up at the top. I usually say a lot more, but we haven't actually had any bad stuff out, so that's good. Things are going well. So I will hand it off then to Mare, to a little bit about yourself and your character, please.
Going well as I'm knocking on wood over here.
Uh-huh.
Hello, I am Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing Acacia, everyone's favorite centaur, soul knife, rogue, multi-class something who is currently oblivious to the fact that Scarlet just beat a were-shark inside of her.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, actually, Kaila, are you next? I don't even have my screen pulled up. Let's say
Mikyl is next.
It's Michael's next. That's right. Mikyl, go ahead.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl. He, him pronouns. I'm playing Proximus. He, him pronouns also. He is your Triton, Paladin, Shadow Sorcerer. With a new oath.
Absolutely. And a special thank you to Mikyl, as always, for doing the art for this game, for a number of our games. It's phenomenal. More art is coming out soon. It's very good. And yeah, don't mind me. I do this every week. I also did forget that if we do hit a hype train in chat, I am contractually required to sing a sea shanty, so bear that in mind as well. But now, going back to when we were just talking about were-sharks, now, Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila, she, her pronouns. I play Scarlet Shores, our siren mermaid who also uses she, her pronouns, and has recently overcome being a were-shark. I don't think anyone but Marcus knows. So
Yeah, that's if she didn't tell anybody, nobody else knows. Great. And last but absolutely not least, Eva.
Hi, hello, it's me, Eva. She, her pronouns. I play Winnie, also she, her, your sea elf, alchemical artificer. Who is sort of over the whole were-shark phenomenon at this point.
Fair enough. Even though she has a homunculus shaped like a were-shark.
Yeah, I mean, that's not his fault.
No, it's literally hers. Okay, well, all that said, Eva, I believe that you've actually prepared a special recap for today. So I'm going to stop the music, and I will let you go ahead and cue that up since you're doing the production stuff anyway. So at your leisure, take it away.
Hooray! Here is Winnie's recap, and thank you, and I'm sorry. We had set sail from Umberlee's Eye. Acacia, me, and Proximus, the new first mate on the Redemption, and Captain Scarlet and the crew of the Bloodhound on their ship. Acacia worked on her star charts and honing her thief skills, while I mostly stayed in my lab and researched. Proximus had his hands full learning his new job, but he seemed to be taking it pretty well. Scarlet set to work making the Bloodhound a little more personalized and tried not to think about the coming full moon. You know, on account of the whole were-shark thing. But at least Sorona showed up. Anyway, Acacia suggested we team up to steal Edgar's Evewalker coin, and we succeeded. Scarlet actually gave Marcus a heads up about her possible transformation, but Acacia, Proximus, and I decided to hang out anyway, just in case. We didn't see what happened, but it seemed to work out. Scarlet asked me and Acacia to help plan a surface day party for Proximus. It was lovely, and at the end, Proximus invited the three of us to join him for a special ceremony where he dedicated himself to Persona. And now we're here, heading to a Warforged underwater city. Okay, I guess we'll see you there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Eva, very, very much for that wonderful intro. Gay audacity. And
Indeed.
That alone.
Yeah.
Gay audacity and just enough skill.
So good.
This is very good. That was very entertaining. Okay, well, with that wonderful recap, yes.
And special thanks to Mikyl, because obviously without the art I couldn't have done any of that, but also just handing me 3 whole new silhouettes, like...
That's true, yeah. We
like,
did
not even a week heads up.
That's
so.
actually how I'm going to do art from here on out. I'm going to do the silhouette as a teaser, and then the art
That's
later.
a really good way to do it, actually.
Check the Discord.
Love
do
it.
like they do on TikTok and just like
Because-
scrape away at it.
Oh, yeah.
It was Valerie,
Yes.
Edgar, and first mate of the Bloodhound.
Marcus,
And
yeah.
Marcus Ash, yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
A plus, good job.
yeah,
That silhouette looks hot.
right?
Had to have the hair, the flyaways were the...
All I had before
Yeah.
was just like a little cutout of like an actual fire, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna
That's not
leave
how it works.
leave a blank spot there. But no.
Right. You couldn't even get that one character from Howl's Moving Castle. I cannot remember his name.
Calcifer?
Little flame dude.
Calcifer?
Calcifer. Yeah, you
That
could
would have been a
Calcifer.
very good idea.
Yeah.
Didn't do
Yeah,
it.
Marcus does not sound like Billy Crystal, unfortunately. Okay, jumping back
Fortunately.
into our, we're moving back into it. Regular game. You all find yourself aboard your respective ships. Most of you aboard the Redemption. Scarlet still captaining the Bloodhound. Maybe at the helm, maybe not. I leave that to you. You are all just about 2 days from, well, actually say about a day, because I think you just wrapped up your 18th day. You're on your 18th day, into your 19th. So yeah, just about day and a half probably until you're going to reach what Curio has pointed on the map as Almborg, which is a sunken city. He has informed you is populated majority-wise of Warforged. And so, is there anything anybody would like to do in your couple of days here?
Has Curio figured out like what he wants his body to look like, or is he buying something pre-made?
So that's a good question. He probably would have. I mean, you would have seen Curio maybe go through a couple of bodies in your life. You know, maybe some upgrades here or there. Acacia might have had that thing like as a young foal, where it's like when your dad shaves for the first time, he looks like a totally different person, and like your brain can't really like jostle with it very well, and you're like, "Is that you're a different person now? I don't trust you, stranger, stranger."
Stranger
But
danger.
yeah,
That includes stabbing in our occupation.
but yeah, it's still him regardless of the frame, because his frame now looks very different from like the very ornate one that he had when you all first found him in Bleakwatch. So he has definitely sketched out a few things that he's looking for. He has certain metals, certain designs that he would like. He definitely really wants that multi-tool that was built into his arm that basically can turn his hand into a set of lockpicks. Really make him the top tier thief that he was before, just by form and function. So he has an idea, but at the same time, doesn't really know what to expect. He has not been to Almborg before. This is one of those places that kind of like gets passed around amongst Warforge. He would have actually informed you that he heard about it through Memento, who you would remember was the Warforged tattoo artist that Proximus had hired. So Memento actually had been there before, has since left the ships, probably left with the people that got off at Umberlee's Eye. So he has a pretty good idea of what to look for. Hasn't been here before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will say that there is something that one of the NPCs did want to engage with. It's about on that 19th day, middle of the day. You've got some pretty smooth sailing. You all are relatively near the equator. It is maybe partly cloudy, but sunny, warm. And where would we find Scarlet on the Bloodhound?
Not at the helm.
Okay, is she still in the captain's quarters? Or is she doing her walkabouts?
Probably walkabouts. Try not to spend too much time closed off, because that just doesn't seem like the right thing to do.
Yeah, if you're new at your job, you at least want to be seen like you're doing something. Okay. It's probably doing one of your walkabouts then that you would be approached by Marcus. Again, hands behind his back, very respectful stance, first mate to captain. And he would say, Miss, I was wondering if I could perhaps have a brief private discussion with you.
Of course.
And
what about?
Recent mutual events.
Noted, okay.
And he would basically, whether it's captain's quarters or just a quiet corner, he will kind of pull you aside and say, it has been only a short while since your... What turmoil occurred below decks, and I just wanted to check in on you, with you.
Well, I feel like there's no shadow following me any longer. So I guess that's a good thing.
That is a good thing. So I presume no worries will come about the next full moon?
It shouldn't.
That is very good news. How are you feeling?
Well, the first few days felt like I had been hit by, giant. For the lack of better words. Like Connery had just fucked my shit up.
Oh. I hope you're feeling better now, miss. I only have one other question, and I hope this isn't intrusive in any way. Who is Corvus?
How do you know that name?
Near the end of your fortunately unsuccessful transformation, you reached for a stone and shouted his name. I was able to hold you down as you tried to bite me, but I was just curious, and I did note that the stone did have his name etched into it, though in primordial, I believe.
Correct. That conversation requires nighttime and a lot of alcohol.
I apologize if I overstepped, miss.
You are perfectly fine. You're just curious. I would be too.
I shall return to my duties. Should you need anything, I am but a call away. And he nods and steps away. Okay. Anything anybody else wanted to do before you make it to Almborg? Okay. Then it is on the 20th day. The ships are nearing with the other 4 boats in tow. Just this otherwise empty spot in the ocean. As far as the eye can see, even with spyglass, nothing in either direction. It is open water. It is calm water. You know, it is this light blue with this beautiful sky above. And you don't really see anything. Connery sends Sammy out for a sweep, and for an hour or two, you don't see anything until Sammy returns and says he spotted just something poking out of the water just about a league ahead. Boats continue on to where you get to this spot. And poking out of the water is a metallic pole. It's standing maybe about 50 feet out of the water. It comes to a cross junction that almost looks like a scale in a way. But whereas you would have these two, kind of platforms for the scale to measure, there are these bell shapes on either side. And hanging next to them are these 2 vertical banners that both depict a very, a face that looks a lot like Curio's. This metal, I wouldn't say skull face, because it doesn't have like a nose hole, but like a Warforged kind of face. It's on a field of yellow. Has a black cog.
Face?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, maybe not like a white Bionicle, but maybe more like the green Bionicles or the blue Bionicles a little bit. We're not going to get into Bionicle lore right now. Don't trap me into that. I got trapped into telling the entire backstory of Yu-Gi-Oh! The other night at a party. I'm that person. Kaila was there. She does.
Good.
Anyway, yes, you have reached what is the only standing structure for what you can tell miles in any direction. And again, it is this kind of T-junction pole with these banners, these 2 bells. And from what you can tell, these are Warforged faces. This very likely could be Almborg. It matches on the map. The boats will come to a stop and drop anchor. What would you like to do?
As soon as hearing from Sammy, Acacia started getting her shit together. She's going down with Dad's.
Okay.
Wait, is Darius coming, or is it just Curio?
Darius would probably stay behind. He does not have anything to allow him to breathe underwater.
Oh, that's okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, would he like to?
You can ask him.
Darius, do you want to take the plunge, as it were?
I Sure. I've always trust
Yes.
my husband to dress himself, but I wouldn't turn it down.
I didn't need to hear that.
Okay, well, give us like 10
I'm
minutes.
just saying, Acacia, some couples, when they go shopping, they have to go shopping together because the one partner doesn't trust the other. Should not come back with board shorts and, a tropical shirt with Godzilla on it or something. I don't know.
Is that bad to wear those things together?
That sounds pretty great to me.
He puts his hand on Proximus' shoulder and goes, "Oh, honey."
It sounds comfortable.
You're too fancy for us.
Anyone else wanna head down that normally isn't a, Sammy? Huh? Underwater?
No, it's not for me, thanks. Connery would probably stay with the ship.
I just want to make it clear that I can do like a little group if you want to like breathe water for a little while. If I'm doing one, I might as well do 10.
Let's say Marcus will stay with the Bloodhound, but Honey and Trosho can already breathe water.
Hell yeah, honey.
So Honey, Darius, and let's say Constance will all accompany you.
Perfect.
Proximus would fly over to the Bloodhound and find Marcus Ash.
Easy enough. Standing at the helm.
Mr. Ash, I have something that might belong to you. And he hands over the blunderbuss. This was taken off of your captain.
Yes. An uncivilized weapon, by my opinion, but something you're welcome to keep. I wouldn't advise taking it beneath the water, but otherwise if you don't want it, I'm happy to store it away.
It doesn't serve anything to me. I agree. I have never used these types of weapons before. So if you would like it or have anybody, you will have your hands full taking care of Scarlet, or at least trying to protect her. So maybe you should handle it.
I will lock it away sufficiently. Proximus, if I could be blunt, I really have no need of firearms, as I myself am more than capable of producing that without assistance.
You know, where I am from, you don't really know anyone until you fight them, and I have not fought you in combat before, so I would not know. But I'll take your word for it.
Perhaps we might have a friendly spar someday. Nothing too serious.
Or at least fight together. I didn't know
Or
what
that.
Acacia was about until I fought side by side with her. And don't mess with her. She is very strong.
Duly noted.
Mm-hmm.
Have good diving.
Oh, of course. I actually miss the water, especially the deep. The pressure, it feels like a big hug. I'll see you later.
I'm sure.
And as
Any-
Proximus leaves, I will go up to Marcus. I'm going to strip my captain's coat, hand it to him, watch the ship while I'm gone, step up on the banister, and just dive.
I miss. And so Scarlet, first one into the water then, followed, I'm sure, shortly thereafter by Acacia with Curio and Darius.
I wait for those two I wait till those. I go in with them. Bleh. Words.
Yeah. Anything last from Proximus or Winnie before you take the dive as well?
Winnie's just going to make it very clear to Darius and Constance and Honey that they have 24 hours. They are adults
With no watches.
with no watches and they're going underwater. But
It is your responsibility.
she will do her best because she's an excellent judge of time, which makes one of us. Yeah. Just...
Okay.
Yeah. Take safety stops on the way up. Be safe. Factor that in.
As you all dive into the water, you would see that the pole that these two bell-shaped objects are hanging off of extends further into darkness, far where you can't see. There's algae and green stuff from beneath the ocean, which is growing on the metal of the pole itself. And there are chains. You can see that chains were attached by a pulley to either of the bell-shaped objects that extend downwards as well. These large, links that you could follow down. But otherwise, everything traverses down to the dark where you cannot currently see while traveling downwards. I would say Curio does not have much of a choice as he is sinking. Metal body, no matter how lightweight it currently is, he is a bit of an anchor himself, which I should also mention, the anchor chains, as your ships have dropped anchor as well. You could also follow those down. But as you all...
Could I have grabbed a spare thing of rope?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can add
He's
that.
He's gonna need some help getting back up.
You could probably climb the chains back up, but sure, it wouldn't hurt. Never hurts to have rope.
It does not.
Traveling further into the murk, you all would get to that point where kind of the light stops breaking through as much. That deeper part of the ocean where the cold begins to really set in. And you would see, there's a couple of schools of fish moving around. Nothing overly colorful or tropical in this area. There's no reefs or really any type of land masses until you break to this point where your dark vision begins to kick in. And you can see down beneath you a sprawling city. All these concentric circles with towers. It seems to have been built into an old valley of sorts, as there is a far landmass on either side of it, and seems to have been built maybe where an old river actually had run through the city originally. And as you begin to move closer and closer, you see that this city itself is massive. It goes on for miles and miles in either direction. You can see movement where there seems to be humanoid shapes moving about. And I will also mention there was that cold that you felt as you were moving deeper in the water. As you move closer to the city, it actually begins to warm slightly, almost like adding hot water to like a cold bathtub. It begins to feel and normalize more to almost the surface water that you were at. You're definitely feeling that pressure as you're moving downwards, the pressure that, not necessarily the extreme pressure that Proximus might be familiar with, but definitely more pressure as you are moving down. It is as you are moving closer that you see a couple of shapes moving towards you. And if you don't do anything as they're moving towards you, you would see that there are two manta ray-shaped metallic objects. And they stop as they get close to you, and you would see that piloting these objects are two Warforged. And through the darkness, there are actually lights on these metallic manta ray-shaped craft, and the lights are flashed onto all of you, and one of them speaks out and says, "Hello? Are you visitors to Almborg?"
Yes.
What
Hello.
business do you have? Hello?
Hello. It's a little delayed. The sound travels different down here.
What business do you all have in our city?
We're here to talk about potentially getting a new vessel for my dad. And is he still sinking, or did he grab like the chain?
He's still like...
I would have braced him.
Okay.
To make
he's
sure that he
hanging on
doesn't
to
fall too
Proximus.
quickly.
Yeah.
I'll point to wherever he is.
I'm up underneath him. Yeah.
He waves, and as he's doing, like, a finger just comes off of his hand.
Oh no.
It's the first time he kind of been in the water. This is an old model. And
When
they
he
just
goes
go,
after the finger.
All right. That's all well and good. Please obey our laws to the best of your ability. And they're kind of looking like all the weapons and armor that all of you have. Please don't start any trouble in our city. We try to keep things quiet here.
Oh, we would never do something like that. do you have maybe recommendations on where we should go?
I would start at the city center. If you're looking for a new frame for your friend there, you may absolutely stop at the Mechananium and see if perhaps they might have a new frame available for you. The doctor there actually could be quite helpful. Talk to Dr. Isaacs.
Oh, Isaac.
Dr.
Yes,
Shelley Isaacs. Yes.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Are you the police from here? Are you...
No. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Our city has never required any type of
Law
police
enforcement.
force. Well,
Okay.
Laws are enforced by everyone, I should say. We all take our turns protecting the borders of our city, as any city is not completely safe in and of its existence, but we have a certain general agreement here.
We just don't want to startle anyone, so if we needed an escort or something, so that we don't
not at all.
disturb the peace.
We are merely here to check on your intentions. You are more than welcome to explore the city, and we'll find that there are others, not unlike yourselves, moving about as well. Almborg is welcome to all, as long as they are friendly.
Oh, we're
Don't cause any
friendly.
problems.
Do you have
Please.
a little handy dandy list of laws so that we know what, not to break?
I think the better question, Winnie, is are there any laws that aren't common sense and don't cause trouble or start fights
But
or
one
steal or
person's
anything
common
like that?
sense is another person's shenanigans.
Almborg is a city where we have endeavored to make sure that no one wants for anything. Treat others with respect and cause no direct harm.
Okay.
You should be fine from there. You may move forward should you like.
Well,
So
thank
then-
you so much for your information. Have a great day.
I'm
And,
Winnie. See you around.
They wave in their manta ray things. Keep moving forward. I didn't come up with a name for them. They moved back towards the city. So you're still somewhat above the city now. You can probably tell what the city center is. Again, it's these kind of concentric circles where I don't know how to describe this. Familiar with Doctor Who, like Gallifreyan, how the language looks of all these interconnecting circles? It's kind of like that. It's almost like the cogs of a watch, in a sense. And you all can see that there are plenty of areas. Go ahead and give me perception checks, and I will see if there's anything else that you might be able to note specifically.
19.
8.
Also 8.
I rolled a natural
High five.
fourth, girl. I didn't see shit.
Winnie's
no,
very
it's 11.
Winnie's very focused on the manta things, trying to figure out what they are.
I think we should call them pancakes.
Pancakes.
See
works.
flap flaps.
Yes,
There we
Mecha sea
go.
flap flaps. Winnie, I mean, these absolutely are artificed things that might be familiar to other things you've seen other artificers do. Because they are absolutely mechanical. They are being powered by some type of mechanical power from within. But Acacia, with the highest roll there, Acacia, you would note that there are ventilation, kind of like steam vents of a sort, that are instantly turning this hot steam back into liquid water the second that it hits the cold water around it, which likely they're coming out of a lot of the spires. And you can tell that's probably what is heating the water around the city. You can see the city itself is lit by this kind of ambient blue light that seems to be coming from a lot of the buildings, from street lights as well. Definitely not gas or fire or anything like that, considering you're underwater. The other thing that Acacia would note is that at the far end of the city is a forest. Not an underwater forest, a tree standing forest.
interesting. Like, does it look like it has changed at all since?
It does not. This would be like if you literally just took a forest out of, like, you know, deciduous trees, conifers, your standard, you know, European, North American type trees, picked it up, dropped it at the bottom of the ocean, and it was just literally put there a second ago.
Acacia just mutters to herself, "That's so weird."
Loud enough for anyone else to hear it, or just...
Yeah, definitely.
What's weird? Weren't you expecting a underwater city?
I was expecting a city, but I wasn't expecting cold trees that are supposed to be like in like cold climates, like with snow. I just kind of like point in the direction of the forest. Those are trees, and they don't look like they've adapted to underwater life at all since the flood.
I feel like I've been a lot of underwater places and seen a lot of underwater stuff, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that that's unusual.
No, I
pretty
refuse
unusual
to acknowledge that.
Come on.
Here we are.
Acacia refuses to acknowledge it. Mare
Everyone
thinks it's
sit in
hilarious.
silence for 30 seconds for that.
When he's just doing like jazz hands.
Get it?
Yeah.
Right.
No, I get it.
It seems weird to me.
Might poke
And
around.
you just feel, Winnie, I would say you feel a little tug, and it's Jeffrey, and he goes, "I thought it was funny."
That's not in your voice box. That must really mean something.
No, you programmed it, Sid. It's in Winnie's voice going like, "I thought it was funny."
I might check it out later after we get Dad situated.
Yeah, would this be something that we've seen before? Because, I mean, I feel like if there were evergreens underneath the water for an extended amount of time, that they would have.
Proximus, no. Scarlet, no. The only person who may have seen this before is Winnie. So, Winnie, if you would like, I will have you roll history.
I will do a roll. Because
as someone who has explored sunken cities.
Most other forests that have been deluged would just have skeletonized, like...
Skeletonized or been incorporated into the flora and fauna, unless they were near swamps. You know, sometimes you get these petrified forests as well can be a thing, depending on how much sulfur is in the water. But yeah, this is a living, flowing in the current kind of forest.
Are there sea squirrels? And I ask this because, so, Acacia, look, that was admittedly just a really bad setup for a joke, but I am guessing I have seen this before because that was a 29. So if there are sea squirrels...
give me 10 minutes to create a stat block for sea squirrels.
I will wait.
Well, I can breathe underwater.
We will go to break early.
No.
Winnie, what this is... What?
It's like SpongeBob. They just have like little air bubbles around them.
Winnie, what this is a druid grove.
Oh.
You have seen them before. It is a place that is so heavily imbued with druidic magic that regardless of what happens to it, it will always exist in its prime form as a place of nature. It might incorporate aspects of its surrounding into it, but there is nothing, literally nothing, that can kill these trees. Winnie would have seen underwater forests before that typically would have some type of like druidic magic so heavily imbued. I mean, sometimes it takes decades, centuries, even millennia, but it's druids constantly being there and imbuing their magic into their surroundings to make it a place that is as timeless as druids themselves have the potential to become. So this was likely the druid grove of Almborg before it submerged.
Winnie just got really excited thinking about Warforged druids. And she's just going to swim a little closer to Acacia and so she's not shouting, even though underwater sound is weird anyway. Okay, no, but really, it's probably druids. Or was druids. Or,
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, probably not will be druids. Maybe if there are currently druids, there will be more druids, but yeah. That's my guess.
Yeah, coming to theater soon, that Daniel Day-Lewis movie. There will be druids.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
makes a lot of sense than anything I could have come up with.
All right. Everybody moving forward? Solid. Okay, you go to move into the city square, and as you do, you are suddenly just inundated on all sides. There's just a population of this city. It is a large city, and there's a population equivalent to it. And you would see warforges of every shape, size, and type. There are warforges that are shorter. There are warforges that kind of almost look like they're they have some of them have the reliquaries in them, very similar to Curio, and some of those are almost shaped like their original form. You would imagine that there are gnome-sized warforges that have the reliquaries in them. There are also the large ones like you encountered outside of Bleakwatch, the Titans, and other similar ones that are like hill giant-sized. And they are all just moving about. But in addition, there are other beings as well. You might spot a couple of sea elves. Winnie, you would actually spot, I'll give this to you, eel folk, which are moving about, which you have spotted way back in the day that when you first met Scarlet. So Scarlet and Winnie would note eel folk moving about. Everybody just seems to be going about their business, but there is, at the city center, probably what used to be a fountain, has this large orb placed in it now, which is emitting this this arcane energy and again this ambient blue light, which is illuminating your whole area. It might as well be daytime down here, with the way the light is dispersed throughout the water. All right, are you all heading to the Mechanium? Cool. Okay, a large building at one of the corners of this square is very clearly labeled. You can see that there are these warforged statues on either side. It has built into it these ornate conical towers, and it has a very, like, even for your era, a very new type structure to it. Winnie, you would even note that there is like a mechanicalness to the building itself, being an artificer. And as you approach these double doors, they actually open, letting the water in with them, and you step in. You all, Curio as well, everybody moving on the floor of the ocean, move into this small hallway. I would say it's small in the sense that it doesn't go on for very long, but is somewhat wide. So you've got a 15-foot hallway that only goes maybe about 15 feet in, so rather square. And the doors seal on the other side behind you, and almost like a seal that you can hear. And the water begins to drain. And you all find yourselves in a depressurization tank, as when the water is fully drained and is excised through holes in the wall and the floor, the doors in front of you then depressurize, open. And within, you find what I can only describe as a citadel of artifice and creation. It is a large room with white marble. There are the banners of Almborg, again, the yellow with the Warforged face and the cog lining the walls. There are numerous different types of Warforged, all completely motionless. These seem more like display models than anything else, that line the wall. And again, there are the larger ones, like the Titans, and others which seem to have been converted for different purposes. And at the kind of middle distance is a table that has a Warforged sitting at it. There is a light above. It is waterless in here, so you all have converted back to breathing air. And as you would even look above, the ceiling of this building is glass, so you can even look above and see, fish swimming above and the light coming through the ocean and everything like that. How would you all like to proceed?
I think I'm just gonna let Dad handle this, but as a fun little narrative side note, Acacia's squeezing the water out of her tail.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And even as you
All
do,
the braids just soaked. Right.
yeah.
Like that's the annoying part about being part horse. I'm bigger and all my fur is soaked.
Like an extra 15 pounds of water.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Just pull out a little scraper to just slide it off.
Squeegee.
I will say
squeegee Acacia.
That's how you dry a
Warforged
horse.
attendant with this kind of cobalt frame to him, rather large. He has these kind of like yellow illuminated eyes poking through, and he's standing there with kind of robes that come down on either side. He says, if you all wouldn't mind, you may absolutely make use of our services. And he refers you to these two, almost like ends of a banister. They're orbs on a pedestal. And he just basically references you to touch them.
I'll immediately do it. I am like the only one not used to being wet.
Instantly dry.
Oh, thank goodness.
These are
Thank you.
prestidigitation stones, so you are immediately dry and clean.
Thank you.
This is something that actually exists in the Eberron magic items, just to make sure that if you meet somebody fancy, you aren't filthy.
I would like to take note to maybe install them on the ships.
Ooh,
Ooh.
great idea.
Yeah.
Winnie is delighted.
And Curio walks ahead and gets to the receptionist desk. Hi. So I was wondering if I could perhaps I'm looking to upgrade things. Kind of. Because this I don't like this one.
Not even upgrade, just replace. This
Please.
is fair.
What she said. And the receptionist looks and says, yes, I see that there is improvements that can be made. Let me see if the doctor is currently busy. And she steps away. And for a time, you're just in this bright marble hall, these columns all around. I mean, again, it feels like the reception area of like a king of sorts. And just a doctor's office.
I was gonna say Winnie is gonna be wandering around, like, respectfully snooping. Not, like, going anywhere she obviously shouldn't, but, like, she's flipping through the magazines. She's,
There's no magazines. There are paintings on the walls that all depict various... they are human up to a point. You can tell that they all have the same last name, Isaacs. They are human up to a point where they begin to become half-elves. And that's kind of where this, you can tell by the ears, like an elf was entered into the familial line. But yes, whether it is, mask presenting, femme presenting, this does show a line of people who are all dressed in finery, with these portraits lining the wall, all with the last name Isaacs. And after a short while, a Warforged steps out, dressed again in finery, and a reliquary beams from her chest. And she bows to all of you and says, welcome. I am Dr. Shelley Isaacs. How may I be of service to you all? Are you all looking to convert to Warforged frames?
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Very well.
No, that is not.
Curio kind of steps. No, they're fine with their meat bags. I personally am looking to do something better, perhaps something custom. I was referred here, and she says, yes, I see, and yes, of course. I am Dr. Shelley, or Dr. Isaacs, whatever you prefer. More than happy to assist you. Are your friends, family joining us? A little bit of both. Yeah, they're more than welcome to. And she ushers you all into an area that is part forge, part like manufacturing plant, part like showroom of sorts. And it has all of these different Warforged parts all laid out on tables. There are various different types of metals. It's like when you go into like redo your home, and the person has all the different types of carpet or hardwood. There's examples of everything all laid out, all different types of headpieces, and then sizes as well. So I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. It says Curio. What were you all looking to upgrade to?
If it's okay, unless you want me here, I look at Darius and Curio. I think I'm gonna go walk around the city.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Absolutely. If you want to, please. Yeah, no, none of you have to stick around if you don't want to.
You hear it clanging from like the other side of the room as Proximus like drops something that he's looking at, one of the hands, and it hits the ground, falls apart. Oh, sorry. I should probably go too. I'll go with you. Sorry.
How long should I until I come back? Roughly.
He looks to Dr. Shelley. Depending on what you're looking for, no more than 4 hours for assembly. We run things quite quickly here.
Okay.
And Curio goes to like pull out from like his satchel. He goes to pull out some wet papers. Like, yeah, no, I have ideas scribbled down. And he goes to look at where the pinky fell off. Winnie, do you have my pinky?
Oh, yeah, right here. And she just pulls it out of... She tries to pull it out of one of her little pockets, and eventually finds it, I think, in Jeffrey's mouth. I don't know. He does that sometimes. It's a bug we're working out. But here it's...
Jeffrey, give me the finger. And then he does. He goes, no, not like that.
The fin.
Yeah. What is, and he, as you all are walking, he goes, what is the trade-in value of something like this? And she just goes, let's not even talk about that.
Even I can tell it's trash. As I'm like trotting
A
out.
disposal fee, maybe.
I cannot tell you how much this is. This isn't a doctor's office. It's an Apple store. This is absolutely trading in your iPhone 4, your tiny ass little iPhone 4 for an iPhone 11. That's 100% what this is. It's got 2 gigs of memory on it. That's it. You know.
The screen is so cracked.
That screen is so cracked.
Curio deserves a 13 at this point, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. 13XS. I don't
Pro
know.
Max. Yeah, whatever you want.
Can we put him in something though that isn't going to need to be changed out in 2 years?
That's the question, isn't it? Yeah. Well, and then you got to get the insurance on it and the liabilities and all that. Okay. So as you all step out of the Mechanium and go through the pressurization chamber again, the water fills back up. You readjust to breathing underwater. Where are you all headed?
I look over at Winnie, Proximus, and Scarlet. Do any of you have any plans?
I kind of want to walk around, swim around a little bit. I've been up top way too long.
All of you have.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm really curious about that whole process, but I feel like that's sort of above my pay grade. I'd love to learn to do something like that at some point, but I kind of want to just see what they got going on here and make some new friends.
I'd like to look around. I am hungry also. I could eat.
Oh yeah, I could eat too.
Scarlet?
You want a snacky
know,
snack?
That sounds like a good idea. I just wanted to get in the water, so I tagged along.
At some point, I think I'm gonna go check out that forest. I've never actually seen a forest. They're not very common on Soteria.
Yeah.
Do you want to
mind
start
seeing
there?
that too.
We can walk
Can
around
start
first, get food.
Maybe
Gonna
something
do a
on
little
the fin.
sightseeing.
Go ahead.
Quick question: what happened with Darius and Constance and Honey?
Darius stayed with Curio. Constance and Honey, basically, when you all got into the city, just went off to do their own thing.
Fair. Okay.
They might have told you they were, Constance is always looking for, more stuff to kind of learn about medical-wise. Honey was just looking to stretch her big-ass knoll legs.
Did we come up with some sort of a plan, perhaps, or?
Don't make me laugh.
Well, no, okay, no. Winnie does have sort of a small anxiety about this. Hey, let's meet back at X time, at the clock tower.
I believe you told them that you gave them a time frame to be back at the ships.
Okay.
If you would like to, we can reckon that you gave them a time to meet up and do something within the city.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Sure.
What time of day did we head down? I guess is gonna be my only follow-up.
A little bit before noon.
Okay.
All right. So just walking about the things that you see. This is again, it's a city of stone and steel, and a lot of it seems like it hasn't been aged by the water, the way that stone wears away, the way that metal corrodes underwater. You would see that there are plenty of Warforged moving about. There are plenty of them, retrofitting these older buildings. There absolutely, as you're moving to the city, you do see ruins, places that had collapsed, probably due to the deluge, that haven't been rebuilt yet. And every now and then you'll see with one of these buildings, one of the larger Warforged structures, which is digging, moving the stone about, trying to clear the area. You would spot, because Warforged don't eat or drink or breathe, you would spot at one point there's a turtle and eelfolk pair who you do see with some fish kebabs moving through the water. So if you
Literally just thinking of that.
Yeah.
Fish kebabs.
Fish kebabs.
So if asked, they would direct you towards a food stand where there absolutely is a being you might not be overly familiar with. I'm not sure if any of you would have met someone like this before. They appear as kind of like an elf, but part of their body has been replaced with like a carapace in certain areas, and they have a couple of tentacles extending out of their sides. This is, just to kind of give you guys what it is, this is essentially what a Simic hybrid is from Guildmasters of Ravnica. If you're calling it a Therian hybrid, this is an elf which has managed to incorporate animalistic parts into their being to exist beneath the waves. And they are running this food stand, so the tentacles are kind of moving in conjunction with the arms. And what'll it be, loves?
Is it raw or is it cooked?
It is absolutely raw. I don't have access to any of the steam vents to cook anything.
Whatever's freshest.
You got it.
What do you recommend?
Honestly, the clams are pretty good. Scraped those this morning. The whitefish is pretty good.
I think I will try the clams.
I'll have some of the whitefish, but if I could have a little like package of the clams to go, that'd be great.
It's all to go.
Well,
You all are new in town? Seems like.
Oh, yes,
Interesting.
we have not been here before.
Sure. Almborg's a nice place as long as you can find it.
Are there any sites you recommend that we see while we're here?
Well, a lot of this place is very mechanically run of a sort. You know, a lot of people here don't really need for much. My entire business is based on tourism, so I appreciate you being here. I would actually recommend the library. It's one of the few libraries that still exists beneath the waves. It's not massive by any means, but pretty nice, all things considered.
How old is the
yeah,
library? How
It's
how
from
far
the-
back?
It's from the original city. I'm not sure what their oldest books are, but it predates the deluge.
I look at Winnie.
Oh.
That sounds like a pretty good recommendation.
It's actually connected to the college, and archaeology is a really big thing around here as well. If you've noticed, they're certainly digging to try to find different things here or there. You can absolutely check out one of the archaeology digs if you had interest in that.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise there's the college, the Mechanium, of course, if you did want to check out the history of Warforged, and they were partially originated here. Dr. Isaacs was one of the families that first helped create Warforged.
Oh.
Not the Dr. Isaacs that's here now, but her family. Although she is...
That makes a lot more sense, really.
She's actually one of the people that first created reliquaries.
Oh.
And ended up saving her and actually a lot of people in this city when the deluge happened. So, hats off to her.
Explains why she was so casual asking if we wanted to trade in our meat bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's done it before, and some people just want a longer lifespan, perhaps.
Oh, I have nothing
And
against it. It was just off-putting
sure.
how casual it was.
It's, yeah, I mean, people who come here are typically looking for something to do with Warforged. I would say also, of course, the Druid Grove, spelled down in a way, and I mean, you don't get to see too many of those anymore beneath the waves, so.
I was going to ask about that. Do they welcome people onto their soil?
They do with a donation, of course. Druids have to get theirs.
Classic druid.
Well, I know some just don't want visitors at all, depending on who you talk to. So.
Oh, sure. No, this is, again, Almborg partially relies on selective tourism. We've been trying, as I hear it, well, anyway. And I'm sorry, miss, any points at Scarlet? I didn't get your order.
Just the whitefish is fine.
You got it. Any news? As he's like preparing it, any news from outside of here?
Oh.
Do you want
Yeah.
good news or bad news?
The high
I don't
type
think
both.
we have any good news, Eva.
Yeah,
Winnie, you're Winnie, not
I
Eva.
sure am.
I agree with Scarlet. I don't think we have any good news.
Any news on the war?
The Nereans are
It's
being
ongoing,
assholes
and
still.
they're recruiting pirates with
Oh.
warships.
Shacklebrain's
we-
fallen.
And recruiting is a very nice term, more like strong arming.
I'm sorry, loves. I wasn't there. I'm not the Nerian War. I'm the Denizen War.
The what?
I thought it was at a stalemate.
I was.
What do you
We
mean?
came from surface side.
Of course. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Um,
Unless I know if you have heard about it, I don't know shit about the wars under here.
Yeah, no, would love to hear more.
Apparently there was skirmish of sorts between forces of Fall Lamaril and one of the I'm not sure what they're calling themselves anymore. They've changed names a few times, but it was the lobster folk and some Sahuagin tried to infiltrate the city, and I got pushed back. But they're getting bolder every day. And actually, I think I heard that one of the Triton kingdoms of the West fell recently, but that's pretty far from here and might just be a rumor.
Do you have anywhere around here that you know of? I'm sure there is somewhere around here. Like a messenger depot, like a someone who can like send messages and whatnot.
Mail carrier.
Yeah.
Equivalent of pigeons.
Like
Sure. We have a post. Absolutely, you could check in with them, or you absolutely you could probably check at the college as well. I'm sure there's somebody there who. I mean, there's always students who have just learned sending and they're trying to pay their tuition, and they'll take a couple of gold to cast a spell.
okay. I'll be back.
I mean, here's your fish and clams.
Yeah, she'll take those and like take a bite of fish. Yes, this is very good. Thank you. I'll be back.
Thank you very much.
Find you all
Hey.
at the Grove or the library or the dig site.
I would
or
like to go to the library.
Yeah,
Library's fine.
I really want to know more about this war that is happening, especially about the Triton tribe that has fallen.
that's where I'm going to ask some questions. If you want to come with me.
Yeah, I will go with Winnie.
Random question that is nothing to do with the conversation at hand. It should have asked at the beginning, but I just remembered. What was Edgar's reaction when he finally realized his coin was missing?
This is very important information.
That's probably happening right now, and just like the blood that is spilled cannot be described.
It's a ghost ship.
You all wanted a big bad for this season. Wait till you get
It's
topside.
Edgar. It's
Yeah.
Edgar.
Boss music starts. Okay, so I'm sorry. Winnie and Proximus are headed where?
Energy.
100%. Yeah.
The save point just appears right as you get back onto ship.
Right.
The clash of piano and then the electric guitar rocks in. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All in 32-bit. Where is Winnie and Proximus headed? Where are they headed?
The college, I think, because that's going to be if we can find a.
Yeah, the library.
Well, there's the library, the college, the
library is attached to the college, right?
It is.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I'm also going. I'm going to the library.
And on the way there, we're gonna keep our eye out or actively ask for, hey kids, you want to earn some gold?
Ooh.
That'll go real well.
We're just gonna workshop that.
Please.
I will let you say that. I don't feel comfortable myself.
Okay. Well, as we go to change scenes, it is just about our break time. So let's go ahead and take break. We will be back in about 5 to 10. Go ahead and do the things. And thanks for hanging out. We'll be back soon. Take care of yourselves. Welcome back, everybody, to Horizons Call. Thanks for sticking around. We're going to jump right back into it. So, the party has decided to head for the college, the magical arcanium within the sunken city of Almborg. Let's say easy enough to navigate. I mean, this is literally a city where if you want a bird's eye view, all of you can just swim upwards. I did actually want to ask something that I forgot to ask earlier. Kaila, is Scarlet in full merfolk? Full tail and everything? Okay, cool. So most of your walking, Scarlet's not. Yeah, so and because of that, semblance of weightlessness, it's very much like the futuristic kind of things. Like even I were talking about this the other night, how like traffic on Coruscant and Star Wars has to be super stressful because of all the layers and everything. So there's absolutely Warforged on the bottom. There's people using these manta ray craft to kind of fly above. There's also some of the swimming races that are moving above as well. So there are like layers of activity to this city. But the college is easy enough to find, especially if you just ask people. Everybody seems to know where it is, and they would direct you to the Orfindel Arcanium, which is a little bit further around the city. You would have to go back to the city square, and then it's down one of the side streets. But you get to this beautiful, ornate, marble-esque exterior with, again, metal incorporated into it. The building here definitely has an older feel as opposed to the place where you dropped off Curio, which I am going to retcon the name of that because I didn't have a name and Mechanadium makes no sense. So we're going to call that the White Forge from now on. So whereas that very much, I mean, 100% feels like an Apple store. It feels newer, feels like it's been renovated, all that kind of stuff. The college has a much older feel to it and has actually allowed certain aspects of sea life to be incorporated into the building structure. It has a large glass dome, half dome top to it, which you can see is kind of like interlaced with metal reinforcements, and is emitting light from it. And there are statues of humanoids, several warforged. There seems to be this underwater garden of like algae and kelp all down here, and statues kind of built into the centers of these little garden patches. There are plenty of people walking about in these type of robe like dressings that would indicate a level of academia to them. And again, you see Warforged, you see a couple of sea elves, so more eel folk than probably any of you might have ever seen before. Um, just throwing it out there. You do see some other Therian hybrids as well. Each of them is completely different from the rest. It's not like where you see two sea elves and you can tell like, oh, these are beings from the same species. A Therian hybrid customizes their body based on what type of animal they really want to incorporate into it, or what type of animal's aspects they want to incorporate into it. Where all would you like to head? I would say the library is easy enough to find. It is a wing of this college campus. Otherwise, there are plenty of students about if you didn't want to hire a youth to cast a sending spell for you.
Like I said, I think on the way to the library, just keeping an eye out for a cluster of students or something to just kind of pop by and be like, hey, anyone with sending that wants to earn some gold?
Yeah,
we
absolutely. Absolutely. I will say that, Winnie, you absolutely do spot a group of students. Among them is a sea elf. There are two warforged, and there's an eel folk as well. And they are all gathered around one of the statues, which actually has a plaque emblazoned on it. And the statue is somewhat weathered. It is a thoroughly patinaed bronze, so it's greened all the way through because it's underwater, and it depicts an elven mask-presenting individual with these long robes, their hand, kind of almost like Shakespearean, extended outwards with their other hand on their chest, pontificating something into eternity. And they're kind of gathered around. They're all like chatting about the plaque. And as you approach them, you go, hi, I'm, looking to pass sending. They all turn around and they go, oh, hi. The sea elf steps forward. Hey, yeah, I actually I do know sending. Gold would be awesome. We're actually wondering if you could help us with something else though, because you're an adult, and that's actually a really cool outfit. Are you? She kind of like leans. She's like, "Are you an artificer?"
Do you want beer?
No, I have an alchemy jug.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Maybe. What can I do you for?
I'm asking because I'm studying to be an artificer. That's all. No,
It's a
I
good
was
choice.
curious. What do you specialize in?
Elixirs mostly, and helping my friends. Like this guy right here has a fancy
Hello.
yeah. I upgraded his weaponry, which I thought was kind of fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And he's not wearing it, but I also made him a really super dope jacket.
It's very nice and very fancy. I don't want to mess it up underwater.
Yeah, it actually wouldn't get messed up underwater, but that's okay. That's,
Oh,
yeah.
that
You
is
can get
something
it super
that-
dirty, and it'll yeah. Try it out. You'll like it.
Oh,
She's
and I
very
made this
quickly
little
losing
guy.
interest as she's like looking down at her like this tablet that she has. She's like, huh?
She's gonna like shove little Jeffrey into the center of this like new circle, and I made him.
Little Jeffrey is absolutely going to treat this like a dance circle.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually really cool. So I absolutely can cast sending for you. I would be happy to do so.
Mhm.
I would ask 10 gold for it unless we're out here right now because our dorm is on a scavenger hunt right now, and one of the things we're trying to figure out is the answer to this riddle, and she points at the plaque on the statue. We need to figure this out. If you could help me, I would do it for like 1 gold.
Yeah, what's the riddle?
So you go to look at the riddle, and let me see if I have a good one for you
She
here.
whacks me over the back of the head and steals little Jeffrey. God damn it, every time.
Exactly. So the riddle, and I can type this out if you would like, but it is, my unending hunger consumes all. Before me even cities fall. I await all hellbound men. A single spark, I begin again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is this for
And
class?
what are the Warforged? No, what are the Warforged? It's a scavenger hunt. We're competing for something. It's for fun. Do you know the answer?
Yeah. I would say it's fire.
And she kind of like looks down. She goes, "Duh, that's. Sorry, I've never seen fire before. Thank you.
That's fair. That's
yeah. That makes absolute sense. Great. Okay. And you see one of the Warforged just like jotting something on a tablet that they have, and it fits. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Winnie. This
Hi,
is
Winnie.
Proximus, and this is Scarlet, and this is Acacia, and this is little Jeffrey.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Sesha. Winnie, I promised you something, so and she turns to the rest of them. Go. I'll catch up with you. Go. Okay. Winnie, what can I cast for you? You want something? You want a message sent?
I do. I also have another like follow-up question. But a message sent, yes. You wouldn't happen to be from like Fall Emerald or anything, would you be familiar with
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Are you...
I'm a legacy.
Oh. Hey, good for you. You wouldn't happen to be familiar with like the Broken Mast Farm or anything, would you? It's like kind of big in some circles, kind of not in some others.
I think I went to a petting zoo there once when I was little.
Great. Okay. It's run by my mom's, and I need to get a message to one or the other of them.
Manatees, right?
Manatees, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, there's the, like, wild curly-haired one. Is this better with, like, the names or with like...
A name is helpful, yeah.
Okay, so, let's see. So, hang on. I got this. Okay. The one with, like, the wild, like, messy hair is, Varese. And I don't know if that's the one you would have seen, or the, like, more, like, kind of put together one is Lavinia. I figure if you've seen them, maybe that would help you more, but maybe not. I don't know. It's not really my cup of spells.
I think so. Okay, yeah. I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
What do you want your message? 25 words or less. And also I have to introduce, since they don't know me, myself, and
That
say I'm
makes
speaking
sense.
for you. So, hi, this is Sesha for Winnie. So you got 19.
Okay. Hey, hang on. This is not my message yet. Group, friends. How long did we say it was gonna be until we ended up at Fallermerle? Until it's like another month, right?
You have, let's see.
I feel like we would have discussed this and like Eva's brain just kind of
20 days.
Okay.
Also, maybe think really hard about what you're gonna say. You can get a little long-winded. Be quick and concise.
Oh, I got this. But thank you, yes. 19 words. The problem is, whenever I'm thinking about it, I always do it out like syllables, which is not the same as a word.
What are you trying to say? Do you need help?
How many refugees do we have? We've got 120 people total. Is that ish, right? We've got 30 on each ship,
left.
more or less. And 3 keelboats worth, right?
4 keelboats.
4 keelboats worth.
So about 20 on each.
So that's 80 refugees.
20, 40, 60, 80, plus the 30 on each ship. So 110, 140.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Coming home in 20 days with 80 refugees and 60 crew to visit. Please prepare. Love you.
That's
Winnie.
it.
No, that should have been 18.
Okay. We'll say the Winnie can be included. I thought I was keeping up with you there. Okay. She goes to cast sending. And kind of like she like literally word for word gets from you. And she waits a second. Okay. Your mom, Varese, responded. She said, "Thank you. We'll prepare. Be safe. Your brothers are here. They're fine. One broken arm. Don't worry. Mom will make your favorite food. Love you."
Okay, well, now I am happy, relieved, and anxious. Oh, okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
And Winnie will hand over the gold. You don't know anything about, like, this new, like, war development or what's happening in the West with the Tritons or anything, do you?
Oh gosh. I got a letter from my family saying that Fall Emerald had a skirmish outside the city walls, but that was a couple of weeks ago. I haven't heard anything about it since. I do know that like alliances are starting to be formed and lines are starting to be drawn because people are getting, I don't know, like tensions are rising. I'm trying to get into politics. It's really boring. But no, I mean, I have a friend who's a Coalinth, and they said that their like kingdom is trying to get wrapped into it. I just know that Almborg's staying out of it, which is nice because, yeah.
Well, I hope they can stay that way, but who knows?
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know-
we're some other way.
Do you know what factions have aligned themselves with each other now?
Gosh, I know the Lokatha and a lot of the merfolk and the sea elves already had an existing alliance. And then the Sahuagin and a lot of the Ilfolk tribes. And they also tied in the Marrow and the Aldani. And I know they're trying to get more. I think they're even reaching out to like turtles and lizard folk at this point. But I mean, they're trying to get literally everybody they can to get as much territory as they can.
What about the Triton people? Do you know, by chance?
Oh, I mean, that's tough. I took Triton studies, and they're kind of like all on their own. Like every Triton kingdom is an island, right? So, like some Tritons are standing with the Sea Elves. A lot of them are just saying that they're going to defend their own territories and kind of stay neutral on it. I mean, we'll see how long that lasts.
Any word of the Nalos by chance?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Yep, that sounds about right. Mm-hmm.
Is that like a belly button? No, it's a navel. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That was
Thank
good.
you
We're
so much for
working
your
through it.
information.
As
Yeah.
delightful as this has been to listen to, I'm going to go nose around in the library.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fair. It's just war.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
I'm going to
no,
go.
no judgment. No
Thank you.
judgment.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Good luck with your studies.
Yeah, okay, bye. And she goes swimming off after her friends. Okay. The library has a very similar entrance to the White Forge, where, because of the books and everything, you will all have to get depressurized, water's taken out. They again have the stones to dry you off, to use prestidigitation, clean and dry. And you will step into what I would describe as a decent college library, but not like your Ivy League school. More like this is a last vestige of paper knowledge beneath the ocean. It's not massive. It's probably pretty close to what you would consider like your local public library.
Oh. So it's a potential that I might not find anything new in terms of like elder stuff or maybe historical what would have been current then of who might have an astrolabe and so on and so forth.
We don't know
I'm
until
still-
we start.
I'm still gonna look.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that this library did exist before the deluge. So, as far as finding new information, no. New to Acacia, very possible.
Yeah.
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 If asked, you would absolutely be yes, Winnie.
I was just gonna say, if we find out where some astrolabe, even one astrolabe was then,
Yeah.
as long as it's not the one
exactly.
we had. Yeah.
I will say if you ask, you absolutely can find the what do I want to say? It's the collection towards the back of their more ancient books. You're as you are escorted back there, you find some journals of archaeologists who were working on elder technology, elder magic. As far as some of the, like, they have stone tablets with elder written on it. You're running into the same problem you ran into before, where, as far as you know, none of you speak elder.
I was about to ask Kaila if you told us yet.
You
muted. In Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom. There we go.
I thought I had told everyone that I could speak elder.
Didn't it come out when we were?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought at one point in time,
because I had the journal.
Oh, you showed us the book.
I had the book.
Stole
Right.
it.
I did
Okay.
steal the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Borrowed.
I almost forgot that I could speak elder. I was like, wait, that sounds familiar.
Why is everyone looking at me?
In that case, if you do have your handy dandy translator, these are like broken stone tablets. There are some metal pieces as well, which they have preserved, that have elder etched into them. And Scarlet would absolutely be able to read those. The archaeologists, as far as they are able to kind of determine, is that the pieces of elder material, all of them have a faint magic kind of aura to them. And Kaila, if you were able to, read through these tablets, read what's on these pieces of metal, go ahead and make me an intelligence roll. Or I guess it could be
11.
Arcana. If you have Arcana, you can add it to that.
Okay, that's better. 15.
15. Okay. What you're able to read, it takes you a second, because they're broken. They're broken pieces of symbols. They're broken pieces of language. But from what you can tell, they're aspects of spells. And it's almost like the spell has been, imbued, carved into this material. And what you're kind of picking up on is this is also like the rudimentary form of a lot of the spells that you know now. A lot of you would know that some spells are invented. Spells are invented every single day. Whether they're useful or not, or blow the person up, is another thing. But that's, where we get into the Faerunian lore of like Melf's acid air, and you get the stuff that have somebody's name attached to it. It's because they invented that.
Derek, I did
And what
not
you're
hear Melf.
I
Yeah,
also
you never
did.
do.
I
Never
stare at
hear
the spell all the
Melf.
time. So
It is the worst name.
Yes.
Yeah. Nothing like a hot MILF acid arrow. Anyway. So that what you're picking up is that these are, in fact, spells that were etched into this. And what you're kind of picking up from the journals in conjunction to that is a lot of what was believed to be elder technology, because they were finding elder, like, archaeological sites before the deluge. They were investigating what the elders were doing before the deluge. That's, the stories existed before that. And what they were kind of piecing together was that the elders were able to combine magical energy. They were able to manipulate the weave of arcane energy that exists to enact their will in ways that humanoids still haven't figured out, in a way that was very similar to what is believed the gods are able to do. Because even people are able to ascend to godhood from time to time. These are people who were able to discover how to manipulate the weave to attain greater forms of power. So you're getting the idea that, very much like the astrolabe, where it wasn't a single piece. It's almost like you combined 3 spells into one. That elder artifice is formed by combining these concepts, these magical concepts, these magical foundational stones, these cornerstones all together to build something arcane out of it.
Hey, Scarlet.
So what I would even...
Sorry.
go ahead.
Finish what you were saying.
What I was going to say is, if you want to even think of it this way, it's them using materials to basically make what would otherwise be the somatic, the verbal, the material components. They're building like the DNA of a spell with Legos. I'm sorry, Eva, please.
Scarlet.
Mhm.
One of these days, do you think you could, I don't know, teach Elder?
I was literally just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe?
We've got 20 days of sailing ahead of us before we get to fall on Maril.
It's got to be a
would-
reasonable foundation.
I might be able to teach you the alphabet.
That's fine.
It's a good start.
Maybe. There's no guarantees here.
I'm
There's
fine.
40
kind-
characters for the letter A.
I just kind of know.
That's fine. We can figure it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay. I will try. That is all I can offer.
That's fine.
Aisha, make me an investigation roll as you are looking at the same things that Scarlet's looking at.
I'm gonna roll. I got a 17.
What I would note for Acacia is that, how do I want to word this? You are looking at these words and something in your brain is clicking in a way it hasn't before. It's almost like somebody reading Spanish if they already know Latin, or German if they already know English. You're picking up on certain like parts of words, certain consonants, certain conjunctions that almost make it to where you can almost understand a word, not a full sentence, not a full concept, but there's things that are looking similar to you from the characters that are being used in Elder to something that is unlocked recently in your mind. And you're not
Scarlet,
sure exactly when that happened. It might be from that dream, but it is recent.
Scarlet, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll point to like one word that's not broken off, like right in the middle of the tablet. Is this word say water?
Scarlet, it would probably be closer to like river or like stream, but close. Yeah.
Almost. More so like a body of water, stream, creek.
Yep. Crick for sure. Yep. See, that's Southern Elder. That's respect your elders. That's what that is. That's. Oh goddamn!
need
Look at
that
the time. We gotta get
prequel
down to Cracker
series.
Barrel. Hell yeah!
Okay, but Cracker Barrels have mimosas on Sundays now.
Goddamn, Cracker Barrel's going woke.
Keisha, when did you learn Elder?
I didn't.
You sure?
Pretty damn positive. I don't have an answer for you. I'm literally just as confused as you are.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with options, and I'm not really coming up with anything.
I'm just gonna blame the dream. Let's just blame everything on the dream from here on out. Yeah?
Fair enough.
That works. Have you had any more dreams?
No. At least I don't think I have I, Derek?
Nothing as impactful as that. I think when Acacia dreams, it often involves the stars.
But not Tentacle Daddy.
No.
Not Space Tentacle Daddy.
Not Space Worm Daddy, no. No, I think it often involves, what would be the void of space, the stars themselves, looking up at the stars. I think that there's something that Acacia has heard for a long time that she's started now to hear in her dreams, and it is this ambience that is more prevalent at night, and it is this language, almost a song of sorts. You're not really getting it down here, even as it begins to get darker. Not where you are exactly right now,
because we're very, very far under the ocean.
You're very far in the ocean, but you're also far from anything that would necessarily call to you in the way that it does. But I would say that when Acacia goes to sleep, that voice gets louder, and it remains clearer. Not like oppressively loud, but it remains clearer after she wakes for longer and longer.
I have not had any dreams that are out of the ordinary for me. Let's put it that way.
Solid answer.
Follow-up question. Have you considered, and I don't know if you would want to, but like hypnosis?
No.
No, you haven't considered it, or no, you wouldn't want to? Both are valid. Okay, just checking.
I don't want people diving into my subconscious.
Well, not just like random people.
My point still stands.
Probably Constance would do it. I could try it.
No.
It's
You're a
probably
doll,
safe.
but my stuff stays up here.
I mean, that's also super valid. Okay.
But Scarlet, did you tell us like how like the astrolabes are likely a physical manifestation of a spell?
Yeah, I literally explained everything that Derek was translating.
Cool. We have a
Copy,
start,
paste.
Winnie,
Yeah?
on the astrolabe stuff. It just depends on what spells are being compiled into a physical form.
I mean, we could look around here and see if there's other, like, theoretical dissertations on it or something. Or,
Identify on our pieces.
yeah, or I think we talked about, my brother a couple weeks ago. Maybe
Did we?
having an idea. Actually, no, I
don't
feel like I talked to Scarlett about that. But now I
I
can't
don't remember
why.
talking about your siblings. I didn't know you had siblings until your mom said something.
Oh, yeah, I have 2 brothers and a sister. I hope I have a sister. I need to find someone else with sending, like, really soon. But, the point is, we can ask some people at Fallout Moril also. Like, there's some very good, probably very distracted with this whole, like, incursion business, but, there's some pretty good thinkers out there. Yeah. Hey, Proximus? Where did you say the Nalos were from?
So Proximus, as you all are looking for things to do with the astrolabe, Proximus would be in the Triton section, looking up a map of where the different Triton tribes would be.
Sure.
Oh, Winnie, I'm over here. Sorry.
Winnie does not understand library voice, just for the record.
Okay.
I don't think Proximus would either.
Proximus, you would definitely find it's older for sure, because this is before the deluge. So this is a map that would depict the world with continents. But you can absolutely see where, like, the Nalos don't exist on this map. The Nalos came in after the deluge. But you would absolutely see where there are some Triton kingdoms far off to the west, a couple to the north, and let's see, probably be one to the southeast, and I can absolutely mark those on the map for you. So there's not a lot of them where this is. Like, there's not a full Triton section, but it has some histories on them. It mostly talks about how they, like, their adventures, the elemental plane of water. It talks about, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but there is like a massive kingdom made of like literal shell that was made by Persona that is the home kingdom of Tritons. This creator god who is a god of creators, who made this literally like if a shell had been constructed into a city organically, not like cut up in pieces, but like a single shell was made into a palace. That is where the Tritons call like their home base in the elemental plane of water.
So he would definitely make notations in his journal about these different places, especially paying a special attention to the west of where we are now, trying to find out what Triton Kingdom was under attack or taken over, as he had heard before.
Yeah, and you surmise it could be the one you're finding there. It might not be. There might be other ones. You didn't exactly get how far west you were looking, because this one's pretty far out. I mean, it's past what is currently the Sea of Eternal Tempest. It's past like Kraken's reach. But yeah, potentially. And yeah, I will absolutely get you a list of stuff for the names of those.
But that is what I would be looking at, so I wouldn't be.
Winnie, as you're calling over Proximus, I do want to have. Are you looking through the journals and things as well?
Yeah, she's a little distracted, but I mean, she's still.
What I would know is that these are, I mean, handwritten journals. A lot of them have these leather covers. They're from archaeologists. You do find a journal from Xerxes Wickhorn, which was an archaeologist a while ago. And the one thing that you keep noting, like especially as you're distracted and you're kind of flipping through, and there are diagrams. There are diagrams of these larger rings that depict Elder language. There's Elder language written in it, broken, what would almost look like hieroglyphics. There are descriptions of pyramids, but one thing you would note is on the final page, it says wish spell, and that is like circled.
Out of curiosity, what language is it written in?
It's written in common.
Okay. I have been a dope. Acacia.
Yes. And why do you think you've been?
The shards are wishes.
When you wish upon a falling star.
Right, no, but like the spell wish, like.
I only can guess what that means based off context clues.
Okay, I mean, like, when
Yes.
you have a magic user who can, like, formulate their
Cast a
magic into, like, a spell that, if you were to give it a common, like, cross-cultural
yes.
name, would be a wish.
Do you know anyone who can cast that spell? It sounds ridiculously powerful.
It does, but, like, if you were an elder putting a spell into your body part, I don't like calling it that. Into a shard of your body.
It's what it is, though.
Yeah. Again, with, like, the metaphors. Maybe we should just sit down with a list of, like, metaphors. Like, what are metaphors and what are actual, like, things? Because I've been trying to figure out what happened to us, and I didn't realize it was just a wish spell, which is, yes, a thing that is very hard to do, that I cannot do, and I'm pretty sure you can't do. And I know he can't do. And Scarlet, you can't do it, can you? I honestly don't know what you can do or not at any
Not
given
even
moment.
Eula could do it. Let that sink in.
But people can. Like, there's got
Or
those
is it a hypothetical? Just the knowledge of it existing, but not really.
He circled it, or Xerxes Wickhorn, scholar, circled it multiple times. So I'm pretty confident that it's like a chain of you know, it's like the prestidigitation stones. You just throw this wish spell into a part of your body. I really don't like saying that.
The thing is, if you think about it, though, just because you
I really don't
know
want to. It's gross.
what it can do and the theory of how it works and how to do it doesn't mean you can do it. So, okay, I see where you're getting at. It means we can't really make it ourselves.
Wait.
But no,
Wait.
we can't make it. You can't make it. I can't make it. I don't have the skills, but like,
what if
the
you used a wish spell to wish for? Would that work?
Which would require the ability to get a wish spell, which would require an astrolabe,
Yes.
which we don't have.
But we're looking for.
Yes. So either we need to find an astrolabe, or we need to make one. And by we, I mean you, because I cannot build like you. Also,
No, but working
Scarlet and
together.
Proximus, this is probably like the first time you've heard us talk about like us trying to find another astrolabe.
Oh, were we not clear about that?
No.
Oh no, we did not talk about this.
I thought we were leaving things be.
No.
Oh, that might have been something we had on the table, but we were just theoretically talking about, you know, there's other shards and astrolabes, theoretically, and
Straight up, we're trying to find another one.
yeah, it processed from theoretical to now we're actually looking for them. Because better us than someone else, right?
I mean, you have a point.
Is this something that a lot of people are looking for?
I don't know.
We were like mini gods for like an hour or 5 minutes. It was really hard to tell. But a day? It was really hard to tell.
It was an eternity and a moment all at once.
Yes. So I sort of think, and Eula was looking for it for kind of that reason. I kind of feel like if anyone else had an idea that this existed, which clearly they do, like there's a whole...
The Empire wanted it for something. They
That's
wanted
also
those
true.
pieces.
Yeah, the Red Owl.
Maybe we should start looking at the Empire.
This just sounds like a bad idea.
It is a bad idea.
No, it's a very good idea. Because if you know someone else who's looking for something, if they're ahead of you, you can just take their information. Or their pieces
Yeah.
if they already
That
have
is
one.
not as easy as you think it is.
I didn't say it was easy, I just said it's a
This
good
Remember
idea.
what
sounds like a
happened when the
friend of
Empire-
a friend is my enemy type thing. It is.
Yeah.
This gets real deep, real
You need
quick.
3 parties in that, and right now it's just us and the Empire. So right now we've got us and
Is
our
it though?
enemy.
Did
You're right.
what-
We need other enemies of the
Ironback, wasn't
Empire.
he? Didn't he have something also?
Yeah, but we got it. Well, someone else got
Curio got it.
Curio got it. Yeah. So we
And
don't need to
Curio
go
Curio
back.
Picture got
had
it.
my piece
Correct.
forever.
Right.
Right.
So maybe I answered my own question. There are plenty of people that are looking for this, but they don't know exactly what it is that they are looking for.
Which is good for us.
I think we continue what we've been doing and gathering information. Either one, trying to find more pieces that exist, steal more if we find them, and then, or at the same time, following another avenue of making one.
You know what else we could look for? Spell scrolls.
Of what kind of spell?
This would be easier if I remembered what it was called. But I'm pretty sure either one of my brothers or maybe one of my mums has this ability to, like, think about something, like an item, and know where it is. It's kind of like, it's not exact. It's not like a little flashing beacon, but it's like, hey, over that direction somewhere. It's not like...
Locate objects. A lot of thieves use that spell very...
Oh, that'd be so... First of all, I just kind of want that because that'd be really handy. But, like...
It's
Also
great
has
for
a
heists.
range to it.
Yeah,
There are
there is
limitations to
there
that,
is a
and
rate.
I do know that spell.
Proximus, do you?
I do.
But that'd be so handy. Like, of course not. Is there an astrolabe in the building with us right now?
I actually did not prepare that spell, but
That's okay. I had to switch out a really good one to, like, help people not drown. So I get it. But
That's appreciated.
But here's the thing:
But in the future.
there are definitely limitations to that. I have to know what I am looking for, and
you've
then
literally held the astrolabe. So you're just looking for another one.
Did I though?
I'm pretty sure we all like had our paws on it at some point.
Oh, we touched it. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You can try and weasel out of it, but you're no Edgar.
It does have
I thought
distance
Edgar
limitations.
was a
Yes,
I
yeah, and yeah.
author,
But if we get close,
not the weasel.
then I
got
can
it.
think of
That's
those
good.
things and sea weasel.
It's just something to think about, like. Okay, so I guess we don't need to look. I mean, I wouldn't mind just having access to that spell momentarily, but that's really good to know. I didn't know you could do that. That's exciting.
Nobody has ever asked me before.
Yeah, maybe we should at some point, like, sit down and, like, discuss, pool all our resources and, like, what we can do and share and stuff. Like,
Especially if you are talking about making scrolls.
Can you make scrolls?
I can't make
Stab.
scrolls, but
Okay, well,
Steal.
we can steal them, yes.
Not here, not here. We're not causing trouble here. We would like my dad to get a
Oh,
body
no.
in one piece.
No.
right.
No, we're leaving.
I'm glad we ate before we did this because I feel like my blood sugar would have gotten very low.
Yeah.
This is a lot of thinking, and I was not prepared for this.
I wouldn't mind a snack on the way out, to be honest.
You still have those oysters.
They're clams.
Yeah.
Do you want some?
Oh, clams.
I don't
that's right.
think we should eat around the books, though.
Yeah, it makes things greasy.
Yeah.
Are we done in here? Is there anything else we need in here? Because
We
I
could
did
ask
want to
The librarian, if...
Good. Because I did want to check out the underwater forest before we need to go set back to Dad.
And Winnie would like to find one more student on the way out for a sending. If possible.
Okay. So I'm sorry, you all are heading out? Or are you checking with the librarian? What are we doing?
I was just saying we could ask the librarian.
I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna go.
What do you want to ask the librarian, Winnie?
Hi, I'm Winnie. I'm new here. I was just wondering, like, you're a gatherer of knowledge, right? Or do they just pay you really well? Like, how did you end up librarian?
You're talking to a warforged who like laughs because paid. No, Winnie, I care about archival endeavors. I am an archivist. I am a librarian.
Wow, I really want to watch the librarian show again.
I thought you were gonna want to watch The Mummy. That's what I pulled that from.
No, that also makes sense.
Yep.
Better than Noah Wiley. Oh well. How long have you been An archivist.
Ooh, 40 years or so?
Oh, okay. I mean, that's quite a good job. That's...
Thank you.
I'm just gonna put this out here that I'm hearing a lot of rumbling and, like, snow crashing around the house, so we're
good.
probably good power-wise, but just...
In real life, we have
Yeah,
a lot of snow here,
sorry.
folks, yeah.
Out of character. You wouldn't happen to know, I mean, anything you could tell me about the current, like, war situations anywhere, I'd greatly appreciate, or,
I'm not terribly up to date on current events. No pun intended.
I think little Jeffrey would, like, pop out and in my voice say, I thought it was funny. Yeah, okay. Context, Jeffrey, context.
I heard something about the Elven Kingdom to the northwest of here.
Mm-hmm.
I heard something about the Nereans expanding, but from what I hear, Almborg is safe. So I have just been going about my business here. I apologize. We don't get too much news from the outside, unless
That's fair.
visitors bring it in.
I just figured, you know, all knowledge kind of coalesces at some point.
Certainly.
Doesn't,
all current events are history and all that, yes.
Yes. Quick question. And I think she's gonna pull out like a little scrap of paper from inside Jeffrey. Do you have a little pen I could borrow?
Sure. And she gives you a coolant ink.
Great. And Winnie is going to... Winnie has like 4 different toolkits with pen and ink and supplies. That was kind of rude of me. She's gonna sketch out an astrolabe. The astrolabe. Have you seen any, either in the archives or in real life, either way, any of these that are, like, weird? Or fancy that kind of look just like this?
I mean, I've seen an astrolabe before.
Sure.
I didn't even think many of them were used much anymore. Navigator's tools have advanced significantly from needing one of those.
Some people say if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Not around here, they don't.
Probably not, no. No. And it's also a valid way of looking at the world is progress makes perfection.
Some of these symbols I do recognize as being identified as Elder language. If you... I saw you back in our Elder section already. I unfortunately can't translate. Thank you. We have done some archaeological digs around the city and found the pieces that you likely saw back there, but other than that, I'm sorry, I don't have much more to offer you.
Oh, those came from just outside the city. Those are local.
Almborg was always a center of archaeological endeavors, which is why the school maintains that reputation to this day. Artifice and archaeology are our 2 main branches of study. They've been found all over the place, but there were collections within the city that are still being excavated to this day.
Well, you can't rush a job like that. You gotta be careful. I understand.
That is at the heart of archaeology.
Archaeologist myself.
Really? What area is your focus of study?
Freelance. I've been having trouble narrowing it down. You know, you find a dig and it's pre-deluge and you're like, wow, this is incredible. And then you go to the next one and it's like 500 years later, and you're like, wow, not the same time period at all.
Yes.
But it's all history, and it's all worth maintaining and learning from.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
The best of luck. I would check at the Arcanium if you're headed that way at Fall Lamaril. I believe that one of their students there has been actually trying to do more research on Elder. So I've heard.
Really? I didn't know we had Elder Scholars in Fall Emerald. I will...
The Arcanium there. It's actually, I hear that he is on retainer of sorts.
That implies he's doing okay at it. Okay.
Yes, I should have said scholar, not student.
We will have to look him up. You wouldn't know a name or anything, would you?
Even Evangriel something. Evangriel, I believe, is the last name.
No, that's my name.
People can't have the same name?
I mean, they do,
It's not
but...
really a common one, so...
No, but...
I guess we're gonna talk to your family when we get back, when we get to La Vandriel. Or whatever. La Femarel.
Fall Emerald, you got it.
Femarel.
Yep.
Sorry.
And my name is Frink, by the way, should you need anything else.
Thank you, Frink. Well, I have
you need anything
more
else?
questions than answers. Not unless you can cast sending for me.
I can, in fact. It's part of the library services.
That's incredible. Do you have a donation box? Not you
Honestly,
personally, the library.
I mean, if you want to donate to the college, they're always accepting donations. It's
Okay.
It's high academia.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you need from me besides a message?
Who am I sending it to, and description, and what is the message?
My
And
sister.
you may write all of it down if you would like.
I don't think that's necessary. Oh, well, unless it's easier for you. Okay, she'll flip the drawing.
If you
of
don't
the...
want to literally just, I mean, we're also in a library, so silence is golden.
You just said you didn't want my gold. That it's the... Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so it's my little sister. So it's like me.
The Warforged who doesn't have to breathe takes a deep breath.
Winnie, maybe it would just be able to just tell her who...
I'm working on it.
She has to get back to her job.
I'm working on it. It's my little sister. She looks like me, but I guess same height, a little slimmer, but like with gun, like she got muscles. Her name's Philena or Lena.
Evandriel.
Evandriel, yes. Definitely not a scholar in any sense of the word. I love her, but it's just not her interest. It doesn't have her hair like that. It's like braided down the back, like complicated braids down the back all the time. Unless she cut it. Does that matter? I don't know what she's wearing.
I think we're ready for the message. I think I have a general concept.
Okay,
to work
so
from.
I know you need to introduce yourself.
I do.
And say that you're sending on my behalf.
On behalf of you and the college.
Understandable. My message. Are you alive? Are you safe? Where are you? It's not 3 words, but I know I'm under the limit.
Are you alive? Are you safe? Where are you? Okay.
Write it down if you want.
And I'm sorry, her name one more time?
Philena?
Philena? Lena, okay. Hello, Lena. This is Frink with Orphandle Arcanium on behalf of your sister, Winnie. Are you safe? What was the rest of it?
Are you alive? And where are you?
Okay.
Wouldn't she have to be alive to reply
One would
to
think.
this?
One would think.
Details,
that's a good point.
details.
If she is on another plane of existence, there is a slight potential that this won't go through, but the dead still exist on other planes.
Oh,
That's
right.
true. I
right.
visit them sometimes.
Disturbing. Yes, I'm getting a message back now.
I
Yes,
take that back.
duh.
Winnie did not say that because Winnie, that did not happen.
Yes, duh. I'm fine. I'm home with mums and brothers. Stop worrying so much. You're lame. But. The rest of the words are buts.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry for her. Thank you. Okay.
The last thing she said was eggplant emoji. I'm not sure what that.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, and I don't want to know what that means.
Youths.
Youths. She took a botany course, and it's been downhill from there.
What is an emoji?
They're horrifying little creatures.
We have.
All right,
Pale
I think,
yellow faces from the Shadowfell.
They shapeshift.
I think I'm done.
Proximus does the reverse. So he takes his boots off when he goes into the water, and then when he comes inside and the water goes away, then he puts his boots on because he doesn't want to like plop 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 on the dry. So yeah, he puts his boots on or takes his boots off so that we can go back in the water.
Cute.
Awesome. Okay, so you all are headed now to the Druid Grove.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be nosy.
So you all traverse through the city. The Druid Grove is easy to spot. It would be at the northern point of the city. As you get closer, you notice that these are just, it's a standing forest underneath the water. No sun, no air to breathe. And yet you see these, deciduous, conifer, all different types of these beautiful trees all intermixed. And much to what Acacia noted earlier, it is a variety of trees that seems that there are all different types from all over the world that have been planted here and seem to exist and remain. And it has kind of like a little half wall built around it, kind of sectioning it off from the rest of the city. It's something you could step over, but you get the idea. It's like, no, we're going through the main entrance. And as you walk into the main entrance of it, you can see that it kind of, there's a central point where you can kind of just stand and admire the beauty of it all. And there are a few other people here as well. But Acacia, is there anything specific you're looking to do?
I just thought this was really cool.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of forests because Soteria is pretty hilly, usually.
Mhm.
So I
So-
thought it was just super cool in general.
Everybody go ahead and roll me for perception, please.
go. 18.
Nice.
12.
14.
23.
Damn.
I rolled high.
Proximus and Acacia would be the two to notice this first. There are a few of the trees which are themselves moving independently of all the others. A lot of them are kind of like swaying with the current, but it is at a certain point that one of the trees actually steps out and is kind of just moving about. And there's a few people here. There are definitely people you would identify as druids, warforged druids that have more wood incorporated into their frames than metal. There are a couple of sea elves here as well, but you get the warforged, likely to the reliquaries, likely the ancestral druidic guardians of this grove, and these treants are just moving about. Acacia, the other thing you would notice is that you can read this forest, literally. That there are symbols in the trees, on the treant, these arcane swirls, these arcane movements in the wood, like knots of wood, which form a language that you can suddenly not only see, but understand. And that voice, that sonorous voice that you hear sometimes at night, begins to grow in this place.
Whoever's closest to me, I think maybe it's like Proximus. Do you hear that?
Do you hear what? It is very quiet down here.
I'm going to take that as a no. Never mind.
Well, what are you hearing?
Music.
Oh.
How quietly are you saying that?
Not super loud, but not like whispering, you know? I'm not
Sure.
yelling.
Okay. All right. The other thing I will note that Winnie, what you spotted, which might have directed your attention from everything else, there are a group of metal-clad. You almost think they're Warforged at first, but their movements
Me or
are a little too.
Proximus?
Winnie.
Oh, okay.
But their movement is a little too rowdy, for lack of a better word. And Winnie, you would spot some like 4 to 5 foot tall metallic beings moving towards you, and they all kind of like there's a group of about 5 of them, and the one in front kind of like stops and goes, "By Moradin, it's Evan!" And Winnie, you would spot a group of dwarves in full dwarven submariner gear, which very much looks like a metal dwarf. They have like the beard incorporated into the helmet. The eyes kind of have like these glass coverings to them. The mouth has a covering as well. They have it's magical. It's basically a helm of underwater action that they've incorporated into a whole set of armor for dwarves. And it's the same dwarves that you would have met at Umberlee's Eye.
Friends! Hi!
So while we are dealing with that, I am also going to say, Acacia, as you're kind of looking around, one of the Warforged in this druidic kind of gear walks over to you. They see you like identifying these words.
I think
that
I
are
actually
written
go
throughout
up to a knot in a tree,
Sure.
like off, like take a couple steps away and like gently like looking at it and touching it.
Yeah, and it's a word that it's hard to translate into common. Druidic is a language of nature. So it might speak of being pacified by the songs of birds, accepting that the soil will always sustain your growth. Things of wisdom and beauty, and perhaps lessons for life, all just like grown into this place. And this Warforged will approach you. Are you also a being of the green?
More so the land, centaur and all.
I'm sorry, Are you able to understand this forest?
I guess.
Do you hear the
can.
song?
I hear something.
I understand. Is this new to you?
Define new.
No. You define new.
One, rude, but also I approve. Mayor approves. New, recent? No. New, comprehending? Yes.
A recent occurrence in your life, perhaps? An encounter, maybe?
A lot of weird shit has happened over the last several months, so sure.
Weird shit also works. A clarity. Welcome to our grove. You are very welcome. If there's anything I can do for you, or any of us, we are absolutely at your service. Thank you for visiting, and should you wish to contribute to this place in any way, feel free to do so.
What does it mean? The song you're talking about. Please don't
That's
tell
a
me the
good
same
question.
thing my friend told me and just skirted the question, please, when I asked him.
I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to be obtuse on this. It, like any song, it depends on who's listening to it. It doesn't have a single meaning. There's no single answer to this. You've had weird shit happen to you. That doesn't always have an answer. But it sounds like you're walking down a path.
Then who? Or what?
I don't understand the question. Who or what? What?
Sings. I don't like that grin on your face.
For
And the way your
me,
body language is.
I hear the song right by, loudest at least, right by, and they point, that tree. I planted that tree. It sings to me. Where do you hear your song?
Underneath a cloudless night sky.
I had a friend like you. They are a very good person. It is a beautiful thing to be sung to by the night sky.
Are they here?
No, you can't see the stars from here.
Do they have a name?
Their name is... Say their name is... Let's go with Ace. They are another Warforged.
Would you be willing to send a message on my behalf? I'd like to talk to
Certainly.
them.
I would be absolutely at your service.
Sorry, I don't think I caught your name.
My name is Effigy.
Acacia.
A pleasure.
Yeah, if they're willing to talk, I'd love to speak with them if we're ever crossing the same path.
Certainly. Would you like me to use a spell, or would you like me to send a message some other way?
I don't know magic, so whatever makes the most sense.
I will find out where they are, and I will let you know.
Thank you.
Of course.
Nice meeting you.
Heading back. Likewise. Heading back to Winnie, you have been surrounded by a small crew of dwarves who are all just, Evan, it's been a month. Well, oddly meeting you here.
It's a small C.
Apparently. You do remember us, right?
Absolutely.
How
could I
the
forget
water
my
went down
favorite-
the wrong hole.
Drinking buddies.
Of course. I told you she'd remember us.
Proximus, Scarlet, I assume Acacia's off just a little ways talking to the trees. Winnie's gonna make a proper introduction because I can't flip to my notes properly, but I did write down dwarf names. So if we can say when he makes a proper introduction,
Sure, that's weird because I don't remember saying dwarf names, so I'm glad you wrote them down. If these contradict what I had before,
I thought
great.
you did, but it's
all
gonna be
good.
allowed to.
The one at the front with probably like the heaviest armor and like the most detail in the beard helmet presents himself, puts, like fist to his chest, Captain Ajax Mason, Captain of the Wakehammer, and he actually points up at that point. And if you all would look above, there is a large, massive, in fact, dwarven submarine just hovering above the city, which is very much, submarine, conical in shape. The front of the dwarven submarine has, like, very much like their helmets, a dwarven face on it. So it has kind of like that design, and it's very angular in structure, has these points all around it.
The most aquadynamic shape is a dwarven face. Everybody knows.
Just chugging that water. Well, so it actually has a propeller like inside the mouth that kind of propels it forward. So
Nice.
It makes sense. I thought about it.
It was not critical.
Get at me, U.S. Navy. Let's redesign your ships. Let's make them cool looking. And you would note a couple others. There's Ingrid Blackrune, Floki Aelwyn. To name a few of the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make me name all of them. What brought you to Almborg then?
Oh,
Didn't know surface folk knew about this much.
We had a friend who needed a new body, warforged,
Of course. Okay then. Well, we thought we'd look at some trees. So
they seem to be pretty good trees. Did you enjoy your tree visit?
We just got here, so we're going to have a peek around. They made us leave the axes at the entrance.
Sad, but understandable.
Mm-hmm. All right, then. Fine meeting.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Sure thing, Proximo.
Proximus.
It's okay. I'm getting used to it.
I think little Jeffrey's gonna like accompany them a little ways, just like hanging out with his buddies.
Anything anyone else would like to do before we get back to Acacia? Yes, Winnie.
Real quick, I assume there's another druid around here somewhere.
Absolutely.
I don't know what Scarlet and Proximus would like to do when he's gonna just sidle up to. That makes it sound dodgy. She's just gonna swim up to a nearby druid who looks official and just. Hi, I'm Winnie.
It's a sea elf. Mass presenting says, "Hello, Winnie. I'm Imrul."
Don't mind me, I'm just writing your name down for future reference. I was wondering two things. One, I heard something about donations, and I didn't know if you took gold or other things? ? But we would like to do so before we leave, or I would anyway, on behalf of, it doesn't matter. I guess it depends on what payment we're talking here. Also, I wondered, I have a friend who is very like you, and she would love to see this place. I don't think she ever has. And I wondered, like, I'm sure you don't do like souvenirs or anything, but like, do you have any, like, not one of these trees, I'm sure, but like a little plant or something that I could perhaps take care of and purchase from you? Again, gold, hopefully not blood. Trade something for.
We don't accept donations of blood, but much
I'm
appreciated.
so relieved to hear that.
As far as donations go, we accept donations of gold, absolutely. Any coin helps sustain the grove. Other than that, we accept donations of seeds, plant life. All is sustained here. Even if you want to leave a nice rock that you have, anything natural is accepted as a piece of you that you are giving to nature for you to forever remain a piece of nature with.
I muted myself. I like that. That's good. Okay.
And then as far as souvenirs,
Souvenir makes it sound tacky because she would treasure it and cherish it.
As far as a gift from the forest, you are more than welcome to take anything that has naturally fallen to the ground.
Perfect. Thank you.
Or you may ask, our treants are the guardian protectors, but if you ask nicely enough, they do grow rather beautiful flowers on their shoulders. And that being something that could grow even further in any environment is a nice thing to give as a gift, I think.
What language do they speak? I don't think I've ever met a treant before.
They can understand common, but to answer your question, let me look this up.
Absolutely. I will stand here casually, gazing at the groves and killing time.
Isn't it weird that we have to call them treants and not ents because of legal things?
It is certainly amusing.
Oh, I was right.
You were right.
I guessed in some of the languages.
Oh. What are the languages? Because my internet's not working.
Common, Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect. Okay, I think it's polite to address folks in their most comfortable language if I can help it. And I only know 2 useful languages, so good. All right. Yes. When he's gonna go do that. I'm probably not.
How are you? What are you asking this treant? How are you proposing this?
I think it'd be really awkward to propose when I've only just met them. Also for other reasons. Also, I thought I
Never mind,
Sylvan.
You're not getting anything. I'm sorry. Nope.
I guess I have to address them in common because Eva.
You have Elvish, don't you?
Oh, I do know Elvish. Yeah. I was focused on Sylvan. Fine, Elvish it is. In Elvish. Hi, my name's Winnie. I was just talking with Imral, who pointed me in your direction. I have a very good friend. I think we're friends at the moment. Whatever, we're on good terms one way or another. Who very much I appreciate what you've done here. This is gorgeous, beautiful, love it. But see, this would be like a dream for her. Like she's a druid, one might say.
This tree has bent over, is looming over you to listen.
Oh, I'll speak up.
I don't think it's about that. I think it's paying direct attention to you.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. And I'll go on to describe B and just for brevity, some of what B has told me about what's important to her and stuff. And maybe some adventures we've been on, ? And anyway, I was talking to Imral, who said that I could maybe take something that had fallen onto the ground, which would be lovely. She would very much appreciate that. But I think it would also, maybe if there was anything that you could do that would make it extra special, I'd really appreciate it. And if there's anything I could do for you in exchange, that would also be great. But if not, that's okay too. I totally understand. And I just appreciate you listening to me, because it's been a long time since I've really thought of anyone at home that's not true. I think about them a lot, but talked about them for reasons. Because the world's a scary place right now. And if I talk about people, then I have to think about what could be happening to them. And I don't like thinking about what could be happening to them. So I just kind of shove it all down. And, you know, it's not fine.
The tree end... I have to cut you off. The tree end leans back up, straightens out, and you can see that this is like, this is a humanoid tree. Like, the branches have become arms. It has, this moss growth, along with like scallops and muscles and things like that have also grown on the bark, because even as this thing is moving around, it's still underwater. It still, exists and maintains as a tree, but there still is underwater aspects to it. You would watch as like a family of seahorses scurry out of one of the knots in the tree and into another one. And it stops for a moment, and you see that there are these beautiful golden flowers, which almost make like a sash around its body. And it delicately picks a few of those, and you would watch as these twig-like fingers all like intertwine and knot them together into this little bouquet. And then it holds it in its hand, and it drops it, and it very just gently falls in the water. And it kind of, as you hold your hands out like that, it shakes its head, and it hits the ground, and then it nods.
Thank you very much.
And at that point, it points towards little Jeffrey.
You want little Jeffrey?
It leans down, and in kind of like a booming voice, where even though it's trying to be quiet, it says in Elvish, "Does he like to dance?"
I think so. Yeah.
Would he dance with me?
Yeah. Little Jeffrey.
And the tree end begins to floss along with old Jeffrey. There you go. Now you have that as a mental image. Cutting back to Acacia.
I was doing this, and now I'm just like...
I made you regret it.
Red.
He had us in the first half.
That's in the first half.
It was green, and then it was this, but not like a serious red.
Okay, so the Warforged effigy returns after a moment to you, Acacia, and she says, "I was successful in getting hold of Ace. They are currently up north on the island of Borea. It is a far northern place, but they won't be there forever," they said. "It's, even for a Warforged, rather cold. They are going to be doing some traveling about. Is there somewhere I should send them? They seemed interested in your learnings."
Inquiry?
And yes.
We are heading to... One more time, y'all.
From across
Fall
the forest
Lamaril.
to hear Fall Lamaril
Fall-
from Winnie.
Fall Amaryl.
Close
We're
enough.
heading to Fall Amaryl.
Ah.
After that, we don't know. I don't know.
Fair enough. I tell you what, I will give you a description of Ace, to the point where you could be familiar with them. They are at least familiar with your description. And should you be somewhere where you can cast Sending, you can see where they might be. Currently, however, they are, let me see how far they are. It's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 days travel from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just keep tabs, and if our paths cross, they cross.
The stars
I
do seem
can't
to
go
align.
north.
Of
I
course.
can't go that far north, and frankly, I don't want to. It's cold. We were there several
Indeed.
months ago. No thanks. Or at least in that area. That direction.
Regardless, as a gift from our grove to you until you find your own, I do want to present you with this. And they have a staff next to them, and it is this intertwined wood, almost like braided wood, but naturally. It's very thick, and it kind of comes to a single point where it's almost like two branches were braided around. It has a metal like pinch point ahead at the top, and is wrapped at the bottom with cloth. And it is sizable, like a walking stick. Probably not a walking stick for Acacia, but what a walking stick would be for an average human. A gift of our place to wherever you find your place to be.
Like, just I guess it just kind of gets like handed to me. I'm just like awkwardly holding it because I don't use a staff at all. I don't need a walking stick. Thank you.
Of course. Anything anybody else would like to do? Okay. At that, then, I think we are going to end this session. When we pick up next time, we will get you all finally to Fall Amarillo. That is, again, 20 days. So think about what you might like to do in those 20 days of travel.
Apparently
Okay.
teach someone Elder.
Apparently teach an
Please.
entirely dead foreign language. Like
Two people.
Yeah, that you're gonna have the again. You might get the alphabet in 20 days.
That's
we'll
okay.
see.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
start.
That's all right.
We'll see.
I apparently have some kind of head start.
Yeah. So, a little peek behind the curtain. You have the knowledge of Druidic, which is itself a derivative of Elder.
Good to know.
Much in the way that like
Oh.
Ignin or Aquan is a derivative of Primordial.
Right.
You are speaking a language that is a derivative of this otherwise ancient language, this language of what natural things were, what the natural magic was born from, which was Elder. Okay. Thank you, folks, for sticking
love
around. We had a thank you. We had a nice soft roleplay episode today. I did have a combat maybe, but no, this was a lot more fun. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for hanging out. I promise I will endanger these people very soon. We, I believe, are going to be taking next week off. At least from Horizon's Call. We may or may not be playing a one-page game, so hey, check out our Twitter. I'm going to do this before even all the other stuff. I'm going to do the Sword and Key stuff. Check out our Twitter, Sword and Key, with the word separated by underscores. That's where we post all of our stuff. Or join our Discord, which is also posted in chat as well as on our Twitter. And we have a calendar there with all of our stuff. And yeah, we'll always let you know ahead of time when stuff is going to happen. There are more things on the calendar. I will talk about that when it is my turn. But yeah, from me, from Sword and Key, thank you for being an audience member. Thank you for supporting in any way you can. You're amazing. Bottom of the heart, means the world to me. So with that, let's go ahead and go around who you are, anywhere you might be in the near future. Mare.
Hello, I am Mary. You can find me on Twitter at ArchmageOfDice. You can find me here, of course, every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, playing your amazing Centaur Soul Knife Rogue Druid, Acacia. And then on Thursdays at 7 p.m. here, 7 p.m. Eastern on here, you can find me running Fraying Threads, our Invisible Sun campaign. We have just finished episode 2, where my players almost became fertilizer. It was great. And then at the end of the month on Neon Lights Roleplay, it's not announced yet, but I will be running a game of Printweaver. That'll be on Sundays, I think at 6 p.m. Eastern start. Keep an eye on the Twitter sphere for announcements.
Yes, please. Couldn't get the mute button. Thank you, Mare. Yes, definitely check out Mare's Fraying Threads campaign. It has been amazing so far. Can't say enough wonderful things about it, so definitely check that out on Thursdays. Mike.
Hi, fam. I'm Michael. You can find me at Michael Sandoval on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. You can check out my art. I do some things and working on some things, but really, I'm just right here, exclusively on Sword and Key every Saturday, playing this wonderful Triton under the sea. Under the sea.
We're very lucky that you are exclusive. Yes, a special thank you as always to Michael for the art that he does. There is more upcoming art. I will go ahead and announce this for him now as we'll start doing promo stuff for it very shortly. The 25th of this month, March 25th, we are doing the Scarlet prequel, which Michael has been amazing enough to do artwork for, and will be playing in as Proximus's predecessor, Corvus. So y'all get to look forward to that. And
Everyone's hot.
Everyone is so
Everyone.
hot.
Everyone's so hot.
I draw hot people. That's what I do.
Well, Derek
Incredibly
explains
hot.
them in this way, so it's kind of just
right?
like fitting.
I'm not responsible for the other two players. They did that. That's Michael and them. That's
Yeah, but also all your NPCs are hot, so it's just a
a
fact.
little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Gosh.
hot. Everybody's hot in real life. Everybody's hot in fantasy. Okay. So speaking of the Scarlet prequel and the titular character herself, Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name is Kaila. I am many faces in many places in the TRPG realm, as well as streaming on my own channel. Currently on a bit of a hiatus due to just busy life things. So you can tune in to my Twitter, which is KMC_, to be updated on that. At the end of this month, we'll be doing March Dating Sim Madness. We'll be playing Colonel Santos Dating Sim. First Bite? I can't remember the name of the vampire dating game.
Yeah.
And Dream Daddy, where I will be dressed as Charlie Swan, trying to woo some daddies.
The ultimate dream daddy.
The ultimate Dream Daddy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kaila. Definitely check out those that wonderful stretch of content that Kayla's putting out there. Eva.
Hi, I'm Eva. I am the other half of Sword and Key. I can be found on Twitter at the Eva Serrate, and probably a bunch of other places, but that's the only place where I actually say anything. We have some casting announcements coming up. Some more casting calls will be going out soon-ish, ? And I think that's all I have at the moment. Yes. More casting calls, yes, because there's too many good games that need playing. And this channel is determined to play them, I guess. I don't know where I was going with that, but
You got there.
yeah.
Yes, definitely check out our Twitter and again our Discord for those applications to join these games, because we just have more and more coming out. The Ryutama ones did close last night, so we've been announcing people for those games very shortly and notifying everybody whether they made it or not, because hey, that's only fair. Again, follow our Twitter, Sword and Key with the word separated by underscores. Discord has the invitation both on Twitter, and you can find it in our chat right here. Heck, if you can't find it, send me a message. I'll join our Discord. Some upcoming stuff for Sword and Key. Of course, Horizon's Call will be off next week. We'll be back the 18th, so we'll see you in 2 weeks for that. 25th is the Scarlet prequel. Fraying Threads is 4 p.m. Pacific time every Thursday. The 12th. So Sunday the 12th, we are doing a Sword and Tea. It is my first Sword and Tea. I am going to be doing it with Val, who is going to be discussing his new game, The Beast Within, which is a lycanthrope, therianthrope kind of game. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let's see, the following Sunday, the 19th, I am also doing a one-shot right here. We're going to be doing a feature of the new D&D game, or I guess book, Keys from the Golden Vault. We're going to be doing Prisoner 13, which is really similar, in fact, to the Bleakwatch prison breakout sort of thing. So I'm not saying they directly stole it from me. I'm just saying it's close. It's fine. But no, it is a level 4 character game. So we're going to be featuring that with some new people to the channel, some old faces as well. Somebody's first time ever playing D&D. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Wednesday the 22nd, we have another Sword and Tea that I'm doing with Ro. Ro just released Play Ball, which is a baseball TTRPG. I'm very excited to discuss that, since sports and TTRPGs very rarely have that very good meshing, and I know she's been working on this for a very long time, so I'm looking forward to that. And that's all we have on the calendar so far. So more stuff is coming up. Brindlewood Bay is coming up soon. Ryutama is coming up soon. Join our Twitter, join our Discord. The calendar is actually posted on our Discord now, so you don't have to be out of the loop. You can see everything. You can add it to your heckin' Google Calendar at that point. We will be back again in 2 weeks. We are going to raid Dax tonight. But also, I guess you can follow me on Twitter too. My Twitter is dsword16. I put some stuff on there. I mostly just retweet from Circle Key. But yes, we're going to be raiding Dax tonight, and that is it. We will see you in 2 weeks. So until that time, fair winds and following seas, brave mariners, take care of yourselves.